Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hey folks, you're listening to the Dork Forest, or about to. The websites, JackieCation.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com, if you like determiners, FamilyPetAncestry.com, if you like jokes, because that just leads you to JackieCation.com. Those are the websites. The credits, Mike Rickberg composed and sang that song you just heard. He sang it with his wife, Sarah Cohen. He'll sing the song at the end, his words to the Mexican hat dance. Patrick Brady fixes this audio. Vilmos fixes my website, JackieCation.com. There's several ways to support the show if you want to support the show. Most basic way, the PayPal button. Donate. Knock yourselves out. There's a PayPal button on JackieCation.com and DorkForest.com. You can also Venmo me at Jackie@JackieCation.com, where you can also email me and say things. Another way to support the show, pretty painless, the Amazon button. On both JackieCation.com and DorkForest.com, there's a link, a banner to the Amazon page where you just order like normal. Doesn't cost you extra. It just supports the show. There is also merch, whole merch situation. You can get Ranger of the Dork Forest t-shirts. You can get Dork Forest t-shirts. You can get my stand-up comedy t-shirts. All the t-shirts are union made here in the United States of America, so they run a little big because they're made by Americans. There's also my CDs and my DVD. All of that is available digitally as well, but if you want hard copies, you go to JackieCation.com, the merch page. Not available on the merch page are a couple of enamel pins that I haven't added to the merch page yet, and they are Meat Shield pins and Spooky Reading Girl pins. Email me, Jackie@JackieCation.com, if you want those pins. There's also a calendar of my stand-up comedy. Golden opportunity to see me live. And there are premium episodes of The Dork Forest, which are episodes that I've taped live, and they cost me a couple of bucks to make, so I charge you a couple of bucks for them. So if you've run through all of the free ones, go to thedorkforest.bandcamp.com and get a live premium episode if you'd like. The YouTube page is on fire. That's right. There's teaser clips on the Jackie Cation Dork Forest YouTube page, but there's also the entire episode, the whole episode of the Dork Forest are now uploaded to YouTube. So if you can't listen to iTunes or whatever at work, you can just have this on in the background with a beautiful picture of the guest and the logo. Enough already. I'm probably missing something, but let's get into the show. Hello and welcome to my living room, you guys. It's Jackie Cation. I am in the Dork Forest, which is weirdly enough in Van Nuys. Hello and welcome to the program. Nia Debose, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
I know. I was like, we keep running into each other, and I'm like, you could be on the Dork Forest. And you're like, I've been on the Dork Forest. Jesus Christ.
You were like, we'll be on it again.
Exactly. That's my big save. And then I ruin it, of course, by admitting to the world. I always forget. What I do is I remember people's dorkdoms. I don't remember who they were. Like, I can't tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed that Speed Racer episode. I don't know that kid's name. Perfectly nice young man. Anyway.
That's okay. That's what Google's for.
That's what Google's for. Yeah. You guys, there's some great episodes out there. I had, and I remember her name because it was just 3 episodes ago. I had Emma Arnold on, and she's like, we've met three times. And I was like, well, we may meet in 3 more times. It'll be exciting. What are we going to talk about? And she was like, bees. And then we talked about bees. It's a great episode, actually.
I'm going to listen to that. Yeah. I'm into like someone that that lived across the street from where I work at a library.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, would you like a jar of honey? It's from these African bees that I keep in my backyard. And I was like,
whoa,
are you allowed to have? How did you get African? You know what? Yes, give it to me.
Weren't they the invasive species? But then they bred the African bees with some other honeybee, and it helped with the mites. And I only know that because of Emma Arnold's episode of the Dork Forest.
Emma Arnold bringing knowledge. Thank you.
Exactly. Nia Debose, you are on the Dork Forest. Let us tell people that they can see your stand-up comedy, of course. You can go to niadebose.com. It's NIADEBOSE.
Correct.
.com. And it's at Nia_Debose on Instagram.
Correct.
And at LOL Nia Debose on Twitter.
On the twit.
Right.
Yes.
You went and saw the Muppets.
I did.
I love that they're touring again.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's I can't. Okay. as I told you, I'm a Muppets fan, like from birth.
Right.
Right. Now, as far as the actual technical aspect of how they do it, that's one of the things that I want to keep kind of a mystery.
Right.
But,
Okay.
But now, like on my way over here, I actually looked at some of the actual, like the Muppeteers did videos on YouTube, and they're talking about how they operate
the Muppets.
Their different Muppets. There's a lot of shit that goes into operating.
Are there 2 people for every
Yes.
Muppet?
Yes.
Like one person doing the hand. Andy does
Like minimum. 2 people minimum.
Andy does a very good job pretending to be Muppet hands. We got
do like the kind of wiggle fingers.
Yeah, we got some free time, and then he makes his hands flop,
Yeah.
and then he looks around for things. It's very funny because nobody can see when you're a Muppet worker under the table. You can't see the table, can you?
No, you can't. But like even when I saw them in at the Hollywood Bowl, like,
Yeah.
I remember reading an article years ago about how little kids come on Sesame Street and they don't even notice the person that operates.
They're talking to the Muppet.
They're talking to Elmo. They're
Yeah.
talking to Kermit. Like they don't. It doesn't. And I was like, oh, stupid kids. But like you go, you go to Hollywood Bowl and you're like, oh my god, it's Kermit. Like you can see them. They're there.
Oh, they're there as well. You can
the
see
people who operate. Yeah,
because they have microphones.
They're in all black and they're live on stage. And so the lighting, of course, is meant to showcase
Highlight,
the puppet.
yeah.
But you can see the guys there.
Right. He's right there.
Right there.
It's not like he's behind a curtain or under a table. Or...
No, he's right there.
Okay.
So
wow.
He or she.
Right.
There's a team.
There's a team, and sometimes there's ladies.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
A couple of women. That
They
also
mix it
work
out.
too. Yeah.
I feel like it's a pretty strong dude heavy thing, though I don't know why. Mostly because everything is.
Well, yeah.
And it'll
mostly.
change.
I mean, they have a few.
Yeah.
They have a few women. I mean,
There you go.
it didn't seem like it was 50-50. It seems more like 70-30.
Right. Okay.
But, that's a
Right.
start.
Right. As we have been saying for ever.
Got to get a labia in the door.
I can't be mad all the time. So
Right.
good for you.
Give them something, But you're like, oh, look, it's Fozzie Bear. And there's clearly like 2 people right there like operating it. But
So you saw the live one. I was sad that I was out of town for that because Andy went to that, and a bunch of more people have gone to that than I would have thought. That I never thought of. I don't know who I ever thought was a Muppet person or a not Muppet person, but it turns out whenever it comes up in conversation, so many people went to that.
Oh,
what was it?
It was basically the live version of the Muppet Show.
Okay, the old Muppet Show from the 70s.
Yes, because they did a lot of the old.
Sketches and
they
stuff,
did a lot
or-
of the old sketches. They did Rainbow Connection. They did all the hits.
They did all the hits. Did they redo sketches from the TV show?
They did not like redo, but they're kind of updated.
Okay.
They also had it was kind of a multimedia thing because they also had the I think it was like the LA Symphony.
Oh, they had an orchestra.
Yeah, they had an orchestra. They had it was multimedia. They had big screen set up, so they had different vignettes and different videos that they play. It was
Oh,
the
cool.
whole thing.
And it was 2 hours or 3 hours?
I think
or?
yeah, it was a full show. If it wasn't like 2 hours, it was at least 90 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
Where'd you
really-
park? I'm so
we
sorry.
didn't park.
Did you Uber?
We Ubered.
Uber Lyft moment?
Yeah, we did the.
Did you have to
ride-share
hike
thing.
out to get the Uber Lyft home?
No. What?
Or do they have a lot now?
They have a lot. They have like a specific place where you can park, but it was too crowded, and I knew someone who lived on that adjacent street.
There you go.
So I just put that address in, and we just
then
walked around.
and you hiked
the
up
corner.
there. Yeah, not so bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh, that's awesome because that's got to cut down on your whatever.
I don't even know how much parking is there.
It's like $20. We went to. This isn't the way that the sentence should go, but the guy who's saying I shot the sheriff, he didn't write it because I think Bob Marley might
I
have
was gonna say,
written
isn't that
it.
Bob Marley?
It was Neil Young, maybe.
Really?
I was a child in the 70s,
Okay.
and he did a cover of it, and he sang it that night. But I think it was Neil Young because I remember it being Neil Young because everyone was so hippy skippy in the concert, and then when it was time to get out parking. People were animals. They lost their damn minds, and I was like, "Dudes,
That's how it works.
We got there early, so we were parked first to get out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Hey, I was thinking to go to the bathroom," and he was like, "Let's get out of the way." And I was like, "Wow, all right, let's get out of the way." He's more thoughtful often than I am.
Yeah.
But good
Likewise.
for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And it's good to have that balance too.
It is a nice balance.
Because if left to my own devices, I'll fist fight no lady. I
Right,
really would.
right.
So it's for the best.
It's for the best that there's someone, little checks and balances next to me.
Maybe you shouldn't yell at that child.
Oh my God. I once said fuck off to a guy who was just trying to help me. And Andy, this is probably, we're 2 years married, so we're 4 years together.
Uh-huh.
And I'm doing a gig. There wasn't an elevator. I had to haul my luggage upstairs. And this guy in front of us was holding the door, but he was actually in the way.
Oh no.
And I said something like, just get the fuck out of the way. And Andy looked at me, and I swear to God, he said, apologize.
Wow.
Right. And there's nothing worse than being treated like a child when you have been acting
Like a child.
Like
Yeah.
a child. The correct response was to treat me like a child, and I could not have been more disappointed. But what I was more humiliated, of course, was that there was a witness.
Yeah,
someone
what
I
did the
love.
guy say? Did you?
Oh, no, he looked at Andy, and he looked at me, and was like, he tried not to laugh, and he was like, it's okay. It's okay. He got out of the way.
Doubled down and just like stamped your feet. Like I don't wanna. I want ice cream.
Right, exactly. Some sort of fucking tantrum. Anyway, so did you watch the TV shows?
Yeah, I
think we all-
So growing up, I watched PBS a lot. Mm-hmm. So I was a big Sesame
Hence,
Street
you work
fan,
at a library,
of course.
and
Which, by the way, your Dork Forest T-shirt that I wear
Yeah.
to work often, I get many compliments on it.
well, you're going to get either a new one of the same kind, or you'll get the other one.
Well, I hope you get more listeners.
Yes, that's awesome if you're getting good comments. So,
But I would. I loved Sesame Street so much. My mom told me that sometimes I would like dance like a Muppet, do that weird
Yes.
kind of like upper body,
yeah,
jerky
adorable.
sway. And so they bought me tickets. I went with an adult.
Oh, thank God.
Just like 5 years old, with
Right.
a little purse,
Cab fare.
night out. So they took me to see Sesame Street live. I grew up in St. Louis. This is the St.
Okay.
Louis Arena, which is like long torn down.
Yeah.
So I would.
Yeah. The one I went to in Milwaukee is also torn down.
Yeah, it's gone.
So,
yeah. I think it's like condos or something.
well, I went to County Stadium, and now it's called Miller Park, I think.
Miller
and so
Park?
it was the baseball stadium.
Oh, okay.
So that was the only theater thing I ever saw as a child.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever go to like the circus too? Were you like
No,
a circus?
no. My parents. I wanted desperately to go to any number of things, and I'm the youngest of six, and my parents were bored immediately. So they were like, "Go play," and so I did a lot of laps around the small town that I grew up in.
I'm also one of six, but we're so spaced out.
Oh,
That I still kind of had like that little.
where are you in the
little
lineup?
Nugget.
I want to
am
hear
not-
about St. Louis, but
I've got two older sisters,
Right.
And then there's me. My oldest sister's 14 years older than me. The other sister's 3 years older than me, but they're both from my parents' previous marriages.
right. So the 14-year-old older than you could take you places.
Yes, and she did.
And she did.
Yeah.
Well, that is awesome.
To the point where people thought she was like an unwed teenage mother. So there's
Thank
that.
You're like, thanks for taking me anyway.
Yeah.
Even though you're being judged by society.
Right? When everyone thinks you're an unwed mother. There was, of course, in 2018, who cares?
No, not now. Not
In
now.
the 80s,
In the
that was a
80s,
thing.
St. Louis, there was a lot of judgment.
Quite a bit.
Now every rock has been turned over,
Yeah.
and the judgment is glaring. And you're at least like, oh, that's what you are? Oh, good. Good to know. I'm going to take a wide berth around whatever's happening there.
Right.
Anyway, so, and then you have obviously three siblings younger than you.
Yes, I've got my brother who's 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
Because I specifically asked for a little brother.
Oh, there you go.
And goddamn, I got one. Then I got the sister after him. They're like 17 months apart. Like they're
Right.
super close together. And then my baby brother who is
So two boys.
yeah, two boys.
4 girls?
Yeah.
4 boys, 2 girls.
All right.
And my mother had children for 10 years in a row.
Good Lord.
Right. And then she died and went to heaven, which I assume has no children in it.
Yeah.
And then my
That should
father
be automatic. If you give
Right.
birth to that many children.
She's like, let's talk when you're of age. And then my stepmother came into our lives and raised us. And my father was enormously gifted in picking women. So, because they're very nice people. And he's hit and miss. So your sister was old enough to take you places, and so you guys went and did like circus and.
Well, no, my dad, I think
State
secretly
fair.
he kind of liked the circus.
Oh, there you go.
I think that he wouldn't admit it, but that was our thing. We'd go to the circus.
Right.
He'd get a beer.
Yeah.
I'd get cotton candy. It was a thing.
Right.
And so when Sesame Street, when they started, I don't know if this was new maybe, because this was the 80s, so maybe they started.
I think it just started in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was new.
Yeah, when they started doing like Sesame Street live performances.
It wasn't on ice.
No, it wasn't on ice.
Okay.
I also went to Disney on ice, which is some bullshit. I don't know if they've like improved the technology, but me and my older sister went like one time.
Yeah.
And I think this was around the time when like Aladdin had come out. And
Aladdin on ice?
yeah, it was like Aladdin on ice, but it was like Disney All-Stars on ice.
Okay.
So it was like Aladdin, but then they also had like a little bit of like Cinderella or Snow White and
Yeah.
Little Mermaid. It was not my thing.
It was.
'Cause I remember.
I want there to be cool ice tricks if there's going to be on ice.
It was just like old figure skaters that they, you know, people who didn't make the Olympics and they just needed a gig. And
right, and they're just skating, and they're
Yeah.
not. We went and saw. Well, you're going to eventually get to talk about the Muppets, but we went. Andy for Christmas took me the greatest Christmas present of my life, Cavalier, which was a horse
Is that the
circus,
horse dancing
circus thing.
Oh shit! All
It
right.
was outstanding.
Do they do the prance like side by side?
They
kinda, like,
did
dressage?
all kinds of bullshit,
wanna
and
go.
it was the greatest. And the background stuff was amazing, and it was in this giant tent that had water, and it had rain, and it had a screen thing, and it had sand, and it had horses running, and then it had Cirque du Soleil ribbon dancing in the sky. I did not look at what the tickets were. He said that they were actually prohibitively expensive, but
I would
it
imagine.
but it was worth it.
Fancy
'cause there were
horses, anything in-
100 fucking horses.
Yeah, anything involving horses is usually pretty expensive.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Because you got to buy and pay for horses.
Yeah, if you have any like young listeners, if anyone's like under the age of like 25, live performances have evolved. Like
You're living in a golden age.
You don't even know, man.
Right, because Nia Debose went and saw ice skaters in costume. That's what
it.
you saw.
That's it. And then
that
I
was
had to, because the seats weren't that good, so I had to add like my little Fisher Price binoculars. So like, I can't hardly see anything. And then it's obvious that they aren't singing; they're ice skating. So they have the soundtrack playing. And
they're mouthing the words.
Yeah, they're mouthing the words, and you got
Right.
like the guy dressed like the genie, and it was like, this is kind of.
You know, the only one where I saw the mouthing the words that I liked was Medieval Days, or medieval, where you go and you get your own Cornish game hen.
Oh yeah,
And a Pepsi.
It's like Medieval Nights.
Medieval Nights. It's down by the
Times.
Medieval Times down by the airport.
Yeah.
And the only reason I
Wait,
liked
here in LA, there's one here.
Yeah, there's one down by the airport.
I used to work by the LAX airport.
That's maybe it's past the airport, like
Okay.
in between that and whatever's next. San
Okay,
Diego.
I'm gonna look
look into that
'cause-
because here's where the sound the miming of the following the soundtrack
Yeah.
worked. There's a sword fight, and their swords had to choreograph it so their swords connected when it went clink. So it was clink, clink, and they had obviously practiced. And I was like, okay. And there were horses in that too.
which I'm sure it was not cheap.
No, that one was okay,
okay.
but not super cheap, but not like crazy Cavalier, which I think it was. I believe it to be $300 or $400 a ticket.
What?
Yes, I believe Medieval Nights.
Yeah.
is like $50 to $75, which is still not cheap, but not $400. Andy, I don't know how much it was, but I assume it was a great deal of money.
It's just $1,000. Let's
It was
just round
each.
up.
It was $4,000
$1,000
We went
per-
first class. We were on the backs of horses.
$6,000 per ticket. Just keep rising the price. We mortgaged our home. It
Right.
was worth every penny.
They're taking things today. We're still paying it off. Oh my God. So talk to me about, I don't know why, but I want the levels to stop popping on. I want us to be able to hear each other, but I don't want to blow out the ears of my listeners. Hi, Rangers. You've seen Behind the Curtain. Next up, Muppets.
right.
So,
So-
how was Sesame Street
It
live?
was so awesome that my mother, this is so terrible. They took me like multiple times. I ranted, raved about it.
Oh my gosh.
It was just like, it was my thing.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, okay, we found something she's like into.
Yeah.
And my mom was pregnant with my youngest sister. And and September 7th, that's her birthday, because that was also the day that she went into labor, and we still had the tickets.
Right.
And Angie took me, my big sister took me.
You still went?
Yes. Because I was like, there's already a bunch of us.
Right. You don't need me to have this
I don't
baby.
need to be here for that, right?
Right.
I'm good. I'm like 6. What do you need me for? So
Should I boil water? You want me to rip cloths?
Make some tea? I don't know. Like I got nothing. I'm not a midwife. So yeah, my dad took my mom to like give birth to my sister. And
I'm glad your dad went with your mom.
they're like, I gotta get a beer. She's got to get cotton candy.
Right.
We got a thing.
We got to see the Sesame Street thing.
Sorry.
So was that sketches, or was it a lot of songs, or was it interactive? Did they invite kids onto the stage?
From what I can remember, it was just it was songs and sketches. I don't remember them like bringing any children on stage or anything like that.
That would have been neat.
but it was like a lot of crowd stuff, like hokey pokey.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Call and repeat kind of.
Yeah. Like you
You're
keep the kids over there.
Right. We're busy.
They're probably drunk in the suit.
We're at work.
Probably it wouldn't be safe.
Right.
So then one time they bought tickets for me and my little brother. I don't even know if he remembers this, but it was like this VIP behind the scenes, like a dinner, because the St. Louis Arena was also where they had like the St. Louis Blues hockey games.
Okay.
And all the other major,
Right, so
there.
it's kind of a conference center.
Right. So
Yeah.
they had kind of a VIP restaurant area kind of off the beaten path, I guess. And so they offered this VIP package where like, for you and your kid can go and like have dinner with people in the suit.
Right.
I refuse to say with the Muppets.
Right.
Because it was clearly like...
Wait, were they life-size people in suits?
Yeah, they were like humans. They were like adult actor,
like
human
Disney
people.
characters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're in their suit.
So it wasn't like you sitting at a table and then next to you was a tiny puppet.
That'd be so cool.
That would have been the way to do that.
Awesome. They should have done that. But again, 80s.
80s.
Yeah.
They're probably doing it now.
Yeah, right?
Live it up.
They're probably doing it. Probably have like iPads and all kinds of cool shit to say like your name and stuff. I want to go. If they're still doing
if they're still
Live, I
actually
want to
doing
buy like
that.
a ticket for 2018 and see
Right.
like how they've updated
If you
it.
get a ticket,
Yeah.
email me.
we'll go together. So we can be like,
because
what?
clearly I have missed the live Muppet thing at the Hollywood Bowl.
It was so good too.
Right.
If they do it again, just please.
Just cancel whatever road gig I had going.
Just cancel it and go. Like I remember meeting because when you're a kid and they're on stage and you're kind of far away, so they're still small visually, so you can still be like, oh, they're puppets. But then, like up close, you're like, this is an adult. Like this, this guy's like my dad's height, and
Right?
he's like Elmo. What is
Right.
this? But I think I remember even saying it. We took a picture with Telly from Sesame Street.
Which one's Telly?
Telly is the purple monster. I think he has like a blue nose. Who's really into triangles.
Oh,
He's like, that's his thing.
triangles are his thing.
Triangles.
All right.
And I remember we took like a picture. It was like me and my little brother and Telly. And I was like, I know you're just like a guy in a suit. It's cool. I'm so excited. Like I was like,
How old were you?
I think it was maybe 8. I think it was like 7 or 8 at that time.
There's nothing more brutal than an 8-year-old.
Yeah. To just be like, hey, listen, I know this is a gig.
My ad. I'm about to do an ad. Hello, Rangers. This ad is for the FabFitFun box. Right now, you can get the Summer Editors box. Sign up for FabFitFun today, and if you use my code DORK, you get $10 off your first box. So go to fabfitfun.com to sign up and start getting the box for a life well lived. You use the promo code DORK and get $10 off your first box. And it's over $200 worth of stuff for only $39.99. It's a seasonal subscription box for women or anybody who want new products for things that are makeup oriented and fitness oriented and stuff like that. It's delivered 4 times a year for $49.99 a box. And then the editor's box is available for purchase in between. I'm going to tell you about items that I received in my FabFitFun box. One was called Foreo Luna. It's a facial cleaning brush, but it comes with an app. So get this. It measures your skin moisture. It reveals your skin age. I'm excited to use it because my skin age should be 52, almost 53 years old. What do you think? Everything comes with different stuff. Everyone comes with hand cream and spongele. Go use the code DORK at fabfitfun.com and get the summer editor's box. Let's get back into the show. I went to an 8-year-old birthday party once. It was one of Andy's young cousins, and the kids were like 5 to 8. And there was a magician, and he was really actually quite good. But there was one kid in the front row just doing this the whole time. Thumbs down.
He was giving him a thumbs down?
Yeah. I was like, I would kick that kid out.
I would.
It's not cool. It's
That's so rude. But
Super-
8 is when the veneer starts to kind of
crack.
slide off.
You realize things about Santa. You realize
the tooth
sarcasm
fairy
is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's really when between 8 and 12, when you're about 12 years old, is when you should read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Luckily, I still celebrated sarcasm when I was 19, and I thoroughly enjoyed Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I enjoyed the film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love the movie.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like the movie.
See, I liked it. I wasn't gonna see it, and then I saw Mos Def was in it, and I'm a big Mos Def fan.
Yeah.
So I was like, acting in a like, this is gonna be different, and he did an amazing job.
Yeah,
he's a great actor.
He is a good actor.
I was
It's
blown away.
Yeah, this is here's my next. We can get back to old school Muppets. But did you see the Melissa McCarthy Muppet movie that's coming out? Happy Something Murder.
I did.
With the silly string in the trailer.
I saw that. Here's the thing. Listen, Melissa, baby. I know
She's listening.
I know. Look,
She's hit and miss.
you got a gig. I understand. You got to
Yeah.
gig it. Bills got to be
take it.
paid. But I guess because I like the Muppets so much, when I saw that, first there's like a lot of prostitution jokes in the trailer.
The trailer feels like it's all one dick joke. They're like,
Yeah.
we're going to make the Muppets dirty.
We're just gonna cram every dick joke.
Right.
possible.
And if the whole thing is that, that's going to be super disappointing because it was funny for a minute and a half. But for an hour and a half, it's sort of like Cards Against Humanity. I like it.
Yeah.
But I can only play it 3 times because I hang out with comics. And I'm like,
that is a live action Cards Against Humanity.
yes, which is constantly riffing and saying something horrible.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you're like, no, I get it. It was shocking and funny once. And then, okay, now try to figure out what that person thinks is hilarious. Second time. And then third time, well, I'm bored now. Let's just play apples to apples.
But the thing about it's like Happy Time Murders.
That's
I think
it.
is the name of the
Yeah.
title. It seems like the Muppets were always had an air of like adult humor, which is one of the things that I like so much about it as
Right.
a kid, and that it still holds up.
Yeah.
As an adult, it's like it doesn't have to go into like silly
Doesn't have
string cum shots
Yeah.
for like 2.5 minutes.
Right.
It's just like, hey, you can make a joke. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a good example of at the live show. Kermit is like, now remember, some of you are the only ties your family has to Hollywood. So keep that in mind as I introduce my nephew and his 3 friends. It's like, oh, Hollywood nepotism. Like,
Yeah.
You don't have to make a dick joke.
No.
For that.
No.
You
You
know?
could just, it's,
And I'm a fan of dick jokes. I don't want
no.
the
Nobody,
dick joke community to think that I don't
to
stand
stand
with them. Because I do. I'm an ally of the dick joke community.
oh my God, I became dizzy that I didn't breathe long enough to laugh at that joke. Good for you. Dick joke community ally.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right. Yeah, I know. But my thing with Melissa McCarthy is that she is a little hit and miss anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Paul Feig did a really good job directing her.
Mm-hmm.
And
He directed that?
No, he didn't direct. I don't think he directed that one.
Oh, okay.
He directed The Heat, and I think he directed Spy.
And Ghostbusters.
And Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the new
and Ghostbusters and The Heat were amazing.
Yeah.
For me. Spy and Bridesmaids, he might have directed Bridesmaids.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids was good. Whatever the other one I just mentioned was
Spy.
good.
Spy was the one with Jason.
Yes, Bateman maybe?
Not Bateman. No, that was The one with Jason Bateman
was
Identity Thief.
Right, and I couldn't even watch that.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with Jason Bateman.
I like Jason Bateman.
Oh, do you like Jason Bateman?
Because I like he's such a deadpan. I'm also I didn't know of him as a child actor. I became familiar with his work through Arrested Development.
There you go.
I really liked him.
And I think I had a problem with Arrested Development in general because Jeffrey Tambor reminded me of my dad so much. That I couldn't watch it. It was sort of like the Royal Tannenbaums. I know it's really well done.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I live that. I can't watch that.
You're like, that's too real.
Too real,
No,
too
thank
much
you.
for me. So yeah. But so I want to you know what? I'll give Jeffrey Bateman or Jason Bateman another shot. Him and Matthew McConaughey. Sure. I'll give them both another shot.
If you want a good Jason Bateman movie, but also like a chaser, Charlie Day is in it as the kind of like the chaser to the straight man.
Okay.
Horrible Bosses.
Oh.
I haven't seen the sequel, but the first one
was wacky and fun.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It is pretty good. That's my own personal opinion.
Sure.
It's pretty good.
Well, who else's opinion you going to give here on the Dork Forest? It's going to be you.
Randy down at the check cashing place said it's a great movie. And I think
Randy down at the check cashing place has this to say about Paddington 2. It's supposed to be great.
I think they should use quotes from just random people in movies, just like
everyone keeps
Barbara from Ralph's.
Everyone keeps telling me to see Paddington 2, so I put it on my DVD queue because we still get a disc that we ignore for years. And then, so now we're going to ignore Paddington 2. That'll be fun for us.
Eat a marmalade sandwich.
Is that a Paddington thing?
I think it is. He eats marmalade sandwiches.
I missed the original.
Marmalade,
because he's British.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. And we shouldn't do accents. What? Okay. By the way, I am talking to Nia Debose. It is at LOL Nia Debose at Nia_Debose. NiaDebose.com has all your Nia Debose needs. So there. Oh, you started the podcast that you haven't released yet, but might come out in July when this comes out.
Yeah, exactly. So please listen to the Debose podcast. My first, there's like 2 episodes on my website right now.
Oh, is there?
So by the time this comes out,
There might be 3.
there may be maybe 3 and
There
a
could
half.
be 5.
Who knows?
Right. What is it?
It's basically just me interviewing folks.
Oh.
Like I know you have like the Dork Forest podcast,
Right.
with people saying things that they're like dorky about.
Yep.
I'm just trying to find people who have like interesting, just in general, interesting life stuff.
Oh, kind of their own lives.
Yeah.
Like a personal experience.
Yeah,
kind
like
of podcast.
people in LA don't like to talk about their they like to talk about like what they've crafted about themselves, like that little
the pitch
kind of veneer.
Yeah.
But I want to know like what makes you? What's that murky weird shit you don't really like to?
Yeah.
You know? Like the first person I interviewed was my father, who's now passed away. He robbed banks before I was born.
Wow.
And that was an interesting story.
I'm so glad that you interviewed him and got that hour. I think you told me that the last episode that you did.
Yeah, I think I had just
about
done
that.
it. I think
yeah,
at that
I think
point.
you had just done it.
Yeah, because
So-
I was under the impression that he had only robbed like a bank, like one, and then
he
like,
get caught?
And I got caught, and I learned my lesson. Like, no, he robbed like multiple banks.
He was a bank robber.
Yes.
It turns out on his resume.
That's what it is.
There would be,
It would be like asset alleviator, I guess. Would you put on your
where you want to
resume?
jazz it up for LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I also enjoy circuses.
Right? And I like having a beer with my daughter at the circus.
At the circus, she gets popcorn or candy.
Cotton candy.
Thank you.
And yeah.
Yes. So, I am a little worried about this new Muppet movie. Now, what about the Muppet movies?
Oh, I love the Muppet movie. And first, I think the Happy Time Murders, maybe it's part of like a publicity stunt, but I think the Jim Henson Company,
Right.
I think they were moving to sue, which is Brian Henson, Jim Henson's son's production company.
Yeah.
Who produced the Happy Time Murders,
Oh.
saying that they it goes against our brand and this is too similar, the puppet style.
Oh,
It's like too similar to,
Muppets.
to the Muppets and
Oh, because it's actually not a Muppet movie.
No.
It is a puppet movie.
It's a puppet movie styled like the Muppets.
They look a lot like Muppets.
Yes.
I thought it was a Muppet movie. I thought it was a dirty Muppet movie, which is why the Jim Henson Company was like, we don't want you to think it's a dirty Muppet.
We'll make some weird acid trippy,
They will at
Crystal
that.
Labyrinth stuff, but
Yeah.
certainly not jizzing puppets. Come on now.
Right, even though that silly string scene was ridiculous and funny. It was, but nice. And then, so, okay, Now, I every year watch Christmas Carol, the Muppet Christmas Carol, because it's John Cleese and Muppets, and it's wonderful. You love that one?
I enjoy it. I saw it in theaters when it came out.
Oh, very nice.
If I had to pick like my favorite Muppet movie,
Right. There's the original, which is, of course, where you get your standard rich and famous contract when you come to Hollywood.
right?
That's one of the greatest. That's got a lot of potential, that one.
Oh gosh. Okay. The one where what is the title of it? I'm gonna have to look it up. Where one of my favorite characters is Pepe the Prawn. Because
Oh my God, Pepe the Prawn is a delight.
yes, he's not a shrimp.
He's a prawn.
He's a prawn.
He's a jumbo prawn.
And the opening scene is like, it starts with they're playing like the Brick House by the Commodores.
Yeah.
And it's like Miss Piggy getting all jazzed up, getting dressed.
Wasn't Muppets in Space?
It wasn't Muppets in Space because she walks out of the house, walks through the kitchen past the two hecklers.
Oh, right. The
Wardolph and
Astoria.
and it's, yeah.
No.
I'm
kidding.
That's the hotel. Yeah. And they're like, well, looks like breakfast is over. He said, why is that? Because the bacon just ran out. Oh, and it's like, I want
Thomas.
the most ridiculous joke.
But I do love those guys because they're the dumbest joke, and then they laugh, and they laugh, and they laugh.
But yet they still go. They still go to their shows.
Every show.
They're still there. You know, they
even have a box seat.
They do, and they did at the Hollywood. At the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did the cutaways where they're like actually in a box seat. In like the little VIP area.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just, it includes so much. The Muppets include so much about show business. You've got the hopefuls like Fozzie the Bear. You know, he just wants a chance to prove he's funny.
Right?
You
He
know?
really does.
You've got the actual like production crew.
We're at the backstage, guys.
Yeah, the hecklers up front in the audience.
You got the hecklers.
It encompasses everything.
Yeah, and Kermit producing. You got a diva.
Oh yes,
Miss
you have
Piggy.
the diva, Miss Piggy.
Yes.
You know, there's so much, and I like that Kermit amongst all of them, he's hopeful, but he knows what he's dealing with.
Right. He's also slightly.
Yeah.
He's
Stressed
self-aware.
out. Yeah.
He's stressed out.
Stressed out all the time.
That's his go-to.
Yeah, dealing with
It's
these misfits. And
Yes.
he's just-
But he loves to put on a show.
yeah.
Yep.
He's a producer, man.
He's a producer. I want to see a version of the producers done in Muppets. That'd be kind of amazing,
that
actually.
would be amazing.
I wonder who would be the Matthew Broderick or Nathan Lane. What is?
I don't know.
I don't know how to cast that.
Yeah.
Were there famous people at the Hollywood Bowl, like
Yes.
live action peoples?
Yeah, there was.
Like did Barbara Streisand show up?
Oh my God, if,
That would have been amazing.
If Barbara, can you imagine? My God, Barbara.
People would have lost their fucking minds.
If
I think.
Barbara freaking Streisand, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I can handle it. I'm not a big Barbara Streisand fan. I just enjoy saying Barbara, like from Coffee Talk. I'm trying to find the. His name is Bobby. He was on Saturday Night Live.
Well, I got Bobby Lee. He was on Mad TV.
No, not Bobby Lee. Let's see, SNL, Bobby. I should have had my head should have had notes. Bobby Moynihan.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Bobby Moynihan. He was kind of like the co-host of the show.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that I remember. As far as other famous people, I actually don't remember because I was so caught up in the Muppets.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
John Hamm was at my show not last night, but the night before.
He's also from St. Louis.
Is he? Mm-hmm. He is very handsome, still to this day.
Yeah, he's in his 50s now, right?
Right. I think he's aged. He's aged okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Still very fit. Seems like a handsome gentleman. He came to see Todd Barry. I was opening for him.
Cool.
And it was thank God he came to the Friday show because last night's show just okay. Not what I'm looking for in a stand-up set. They were quiet. They were waiting for Todd Barry. So obviously waiting for Todd Barry.
Wow.
And
I hate sets like that.
it was a lot. It was a lot of work. And I was looking at him and I was like, I know that inside you're having a good time as you patiently wait for the guy that you want to see.
Right.
But I want to poke all of you in the nose because you're killing me. I went so far into the vault that I went to like 1997. I was
Wow.
like, anybody need anything in an 8.5? I'm already way back here. Something in a red shoe? Just checking the back.
How about that Monica Lewinsky, huh?
Oh my gosh, I heard this. There's that, I don't know why I've weeded off, but the comedy festival in Nebraska. Rich Little headlined it. Remember Rich Little?
Rich Little.
Rich Little does impressions, or did them, in the 60s and 70s. And he actually did the press lunch the year after Colbert made everybody sad. Like Michelle Wolf did this year.
Does he also do like a little political humor with the hat?
Yep.
Is that him?
Except for that, it's so he did. I love
that. Like no one. This is audio, so no one saw the fact.
I don't know about the hat,
the
but
motion
he did do
of tipping the
political,
hat.
and he would do like he did Gerald Ford and Richard Nixon, and
Okay.
And this year, 2018, he was in Nebraska doing the comedy festival in Johnny Carson's hometown, and he was headlining, and he pulled out his. I got this text from a comic who was there. He goes, "Hey, Rich Little just pulled out his Ronald Reagan impression," and all I did was text back, "Did he make it topical? Did he bring it up to date?" One word response. Never heard from the guy again. He goes, "Nope," and
Nice.
I was like, "Gutsy stuff, Rich Little."
Wow. I want to know how the crowd reacted. I mean, were they into it?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
Probably not.
The audience sometimes are so wowed when they see someone famous, they cut them a lot of slack. Though I did see an audience get super mad at Jimmy J.J. Walker one time because he did that drive-through Braille joke. You know the drive-through Braille at the ATM joke?
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know exactly what
I
I'm
know
talking about.
exactly what you're talking about.
He did that joke with no twist, and the audience was literally, they were sophisticated enough that they were like, "Oh, there's going to be a twist. There's going to be a twist." Then there was no twist, and I literally saw them all pout as a group.
Wow.
Because they were like, "Fine." And then they listened to the rest of his set, and then they were grumpy for me because he insisted on emceeing so he could ruin the show immediately.
I did not know that was originally a Jimmy J.J. Walker joke.
Nope.
If at all.
It is not.
It is not?
No, that we're going to say that is parallel thinking of everyone in 1984.
There you go. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because I'm familiar with that joke from a comic that when I first started doing comedy.
Right.
And
When did you start? Like early 2000s?
Yeah, I started in like 2006.
Okay.
And yeah, the
People
guy,
still doing that 2006. That's when Jimmy was doing it.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, it's funny, but
Nope. And there's no new blind famous people to reference.
no.
So we still have to go with Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles,
Who died,
Which was, but
like-
in 1984, it was Ray Charles.
Okay.
That's the first time I heard it.
Do we have any new blind famous people?
I don't think we do.
We got to get on that.
We got we got the deaf,
guy?
the deaf actress who's real cool.
Oh yeah,
Marley
Marlo,
Maitland. Marley Maitland.
Yeah, Marley Matlin, I think.
Something
was her
like
name.
that.
Yeah.
People. Hi. No, I don't know names. You know that, Rangers.
This is the 1985 episode of the Dork Forest podcast.
Right. So, but I didn't like Spaceballs. Let's get back to Muppets. I'll go right fucking back to
Topical.
Muppets. Right. I'll come back to it. But I didn't like Spaceballs. Not Spaceballs, but Muppets in Space.
Muppets in Space.
I thought it was like Spaceballs, too late. The window had shut and they screwed it up. But like in the Happy Murder Times, I think they already did that, but with, like you said, adult content, but not filthy in Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, okay, the thing about Roger Rabbit, though, I think it had the novelty of like combining animation
With people.
with live action,
Which is what the Muppets did originally.
Yeah.
I thought that was
well,
the-
no, they didn't have any animation.
No, but mixing
Yeah.
puppets with real people?
Yeah, but
And
see, with
making
puppets, that's like tangible, touch.
at least people are real.
Yeah.
But the thing is like when like you saw it and you were watching the puppets talk, right?
Yeah, right.
You weren't like when it was Bobby and
Yeah.
Kermit co-hosting. You looked at Kermit. You didn't look
Yes.
at Kermit's handler.
No.
Right.
No.
And so I don't know that they're called handlers.
I think
But-
they're Muppeteers.
Oh, Muppeteers.
Yeah, but even watching that, you're like, okay, you can really appreciate how much work like goes into operating the Muppets. It's not just just kind of holding your hand up and flapping your hand around. It really is like a very labor intensive thing because they're in such a small space because of the set. So if they're doing, let's say, a conga line, it's not just
Oh my gosh, a conga line of Muppets.
Yeah.
Everybody's shoulder to shoulder down there.
You're like crunched up next to another person, and then your armpit's in somebody else's face. And it really does look like, a very like close quarters type of thing. And on top of that, you're uncomfortable because you're holding your hand above your head, and then
For an hour.
Or longer.
Right.
And then not all
going to
of
be
them,
exhausting.
Yeah, you're not just Kermit. You can be your Kermit, Fozzie. It's
right,
maybe
because a lot of people are doing more than one Muppet.
That's right. Yeah, so you're not just your Muppet. So you
were the Muppeteers fit? Did they look?
Yeah, no one looked like, and they looked pretty trim. But they were also wearing all black, and I was kind of far away, so I could also be.
Black is slimming, and you were far away. Did you still have those Fisher Price?
I did not have the Fisher Price binoculars.
Binoculars? You went with a different binoc?
But now that they have such big screens,
they do jumbo screens.
Yeah, they got the jumbo screen, so you don't even have to bring any.
Did they jumbo screen the Muppeteer and the Muppet?
No.
They just
you
did
can
the
tell
Muppet.
that if you're looking on the stage, what you see is what you get.
Yep.
But if you decide to look at the screen, it's obviously cropped to where you're just seeing the puppet.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And I need to see more Muppets in my life. Do me a favor during this program and Google Muppet movies. How many Muppet movies are there?
A lot.
Because I know that
the Christmas Carol movie.
Right.
There's Muppets in Space. Mm-hmm. There's Muppets Go to Hollywood.
What? Oh, there's the original, the Muppet movie.
Let's see. Muppet movie.
Oh, the new one was the Muppets Go to Hollywood, and that was with Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman, and I think also with Tina Fey. No,
yes.
Jason Segel was in the one prior to. I don't think Jason Bateman was in that one.
Oh, it was different Jason.
Because that also had Amy Adams.
Okay.
And featured, quite honestly, one of the best scenes. I'm also a big Spike Lee fan.
Okay.
And there's just about most Spike Lee films, there's a scene always where the protagonist is moving forward, but it looks like they've put the actor on a kind of like a rolling board. So he or she moving forward as though they're not walking, but
floating.
But floating.
Yeah.
So they do something similar
in a Muppet
movie. One of the character Walter just freaks out.
Yeah.
And just runs out of a room just screaming at the top of his lungs. And they had it styled like Spike Lee.
Oh my God. And you're like, I know that film work, that camera work.
It's a double reference.
Yes.
Oh my God. And he's just screaming at the top of his lungs. And I remember finding that clip and posting it online. There was a job I had. I used to work at a casino where people would ask for free cigarettes. They'd ask for a cigarette comp.
Yeah.
This is how I felt when they would ask for free cigarettes. Just running down the street, screaming at the top of my lungs.
My ad. I'm about to do an ad. Hey guys, it's Jackie Cation, and here's this ad this week, which is Tomboy X, which is underwears and underthings and a swimsuit that I'm waiting any minute to receive. It's like a bodysuit, but it's a swimsuit, but it has shorts and a top, and it's a onesie. I'm very much looking forward to it. You go to tomboyx.com/dork, and you check out their special bundles and pack pricing, and the Dork Forest listeners get an extra 15% off with the code DORK. Get some new underwear, you guys. And get Tomboy X underwear. And they're functional, very cool looking underwear. I am kind of excited to get my new unders. They also have bikinis, they have briefs, they have boxer briefs, they have trunks, boy shorts, they have soft bras, racerback bras, basic colors, seasonal prints, brilliant colors. Everything comes in extra small to 4X. So regardless where you fall on the size or even gender spectrum, Tomboy X offers amazing underwear that anybody feels comfortable in. Go to tomboyx.com/dork and get 15% off with the code DORK. Let's get back into the show. I just also remembered the other thing that I loved about Sesame Street with the Muppets is when they do parodies of TV shows.
Yes.
The Home
That was
Lamb.
also in the live Muppet show.
Oh, did they do some of those?
Yeah, they had their own Netflix.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they made a whole video about a Netflix queue of
different shows?
Different shows.
What?
Yeah.
I am devastated I missed this. It's but Home Lamb is because Brandy Brown was on the show and her dorkdom was the state fair. And then we weeded off for some reason into, or maybe it was a previous episode where she did the Supreme Court and then weeded off for some reason.
The Supreme Court?
Yeah. Oh, I know. Her dorkdom was the Supreme Court, and she talked about how Sotomayor was on Sesame Street.
Ah.
And there was a great scene with her and one of the little girls, little girl Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
And the little girl, and Sotomayor said, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she goes, I want to be a princess. And Sotomayor goes, that's not a job. And she's like, well, what do you do? And she said, I'm a lawyer and a judge. And she's like, well, maybe I'll be a lawyer and a judge. And it was very sweet. There was more to it, and it was funnier than that.
Right. But context.
And then,
and I like just like teaching little girls, like, that's not a career path.
That's right. Not everybody's going to marry Prince Harry. He's already married.
Yeah, sorry.
There's just the one. And who did I see the other night? He was on the show. God dang it. He did the Dork Forest as well. And I did 2 podcasts with him in a week. Anyway, it's a great story, you guys. It doesn't have an end. Email me. I'll try to remember the hell I'm talking about. Tell me what you know.
Okay, there are, according to the internet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Muppet
full-on Muppet movies.
I feel like there should be more, though.
Well, so which ones? Name them off.
Okay, so you've got The Muppets Take Manhattan.
Oh,
in
right.
1984.
Manhattan.
The Great Muppet Caper in 1981.
Right.
I guess I should start, they're not chronological. Hold on.
It's okay.
The Muppet Movie, 1979. The Great Muppet Caper, 1981. The Muppets Take Manhattan, 1984. Muppet Treasure Island, which was a good one, 1996.
Right.
I think that featured Tim Curry. I think he was in there. The Muppet Christmas, 1992. Simply The Muppets, 2011. That was the one I was talking about with Jason Segel and Amy Adams. The Muppets Most Wanted. That's the one with Steve Carell and Tina Fey.
Oh, that's
and Ricky Gervais is in it, but whatever. And Muppets from Space.
That's it.
1999.
Okay. What are your, you're right about Treasure Island. I haven't seen that one in forever.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in a long time. A lot of these I think
they did a nice job.
Yeah, from what I remember, because I remember, Tim Curry. A lot of those, with the exceptions of the ones that came out before I was born, 1979, 1981, I actually got a chance to see in theaters. And I think Muppets from Space, is that the one with Jeffrey Tambor? I think he's in that one too.
Oh, Muppets from Space?
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. That actually that resonates somehow. Muppets from Space being with Jeffrey Tambor. But...
Is it Tambor? Yeah, Jeffrey Tambor. Yeah, Jeffrey Tambor is in it because he plays I think he's like a government agent, and his assistant is a bear.
Of course he is.
And
at one point they make us a bear in the air joke. But any chance?
I don't remember.
Radio?
But I remember it was his job to calm Jeffrey down.
Oh my God!
Just remember, just baby steps. Remember, baby steps. Just a pissed off Jeffrey Tambor. But I remember actually wanting, when I saw the bear, I was like, if I get a chance to make a movie with Muppets, I want that bear.
You want that bear?
I need that bear. Not Fozzie. Fozzie, I can.
Right. That's been anthropomorphized too much. It was a regular bear.
Just a regular bear. Yeah.
All right.
It wasn't like a waka waka. Like,
right. It wasn't a bear in a vest.
He was just a guy with a job. He just happened to be a bear.
It just happened to be a bear.
He was just like, he's an assistant.
Right.
He,
right.
he's
a PA. He's got to get his Jeffrey Damer's car washed and talk him down off the ledge.
He's got a lease on a Toyota.
Right.
He's just a regular dude, happens to be a bear.
Oh my God. I like the fact that you're watching the different Muppet shows going, I'm going to want that bear.
Yeah.
I'm going to do you want to do something with Kermit?
Oh my, I love Kermit. I feel like Kermit is, I can relate to Kermit. I know. I understand what it's like. I just want to put together this show without any goddamn problems.
Right. What I like is that Kermit seems to be a real sane kind of Al-Anon kind of guy. Where he lets it go.
Yeah. He's a very pragmatic and responsible.
Right, but respectful and concerned.
Yes.
Wants to address your problems.
Yes.
And if he can't
has
fix
solutions.
them, has solutions. But if he can't fix them, well, I guess that can't be fixed.
Yeah, you're just going to have to kind of live and let live on that one. And I like that. I like that about Kermit. And when he gets super frustrated, he does the little... like kind of crunches up his mouth.
There was a weird one that just one of the newer ones had him in the new Muppet TV show. Do you remember the new Muppet TV show that didn't work?
Yes, because I went to the WGA. I went to the Writers Guild library, and I looked up the scripts for them.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
In hopes that
just to kind of
maybe I'll spec. Maybe I'll spec this.
Maybe. And what's that? It went off the air. Okay, I didn't know.
Well, it wasn't very good, though. I guess it shook out and got better. But I think I watched the first 2 episodes, and what creeped me out doesn't make any sense that this is where the line was drawn. Kermit and Piggy are married or divorced or something, and they have children, and the frogs are pink and the pigs are green. And I was like, no, in Christmas Carol they had pig daughters and frog sons, and
there's no continuity.
And I want there to be continuity.
Wasn't that when they like divorced? There was like the whole to promote that show. I remember this because they were trying to make it seem like they'd gotten a divorce and he had taken up with another like younger pig.
Right, it was some sort of Me Too moment.
Yeah,
prior to Me Too.
Yeah, that he had like. But here's the thing. I feel like Kermit deserves better. I said it. That's right. I said it. Because Miss Piggy, it's like almost an abusive relationship.
It really feels like an abusive relationship.
Like she's so pushy and demanding and mean to him sometimes, and it's just like,
right,
Kermit, know your worth. You don't have to put up with this.
Right, I know it. Find someone who likes you and respects you, not someone who's just. It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be passionless.
Yeah,
and this passion, I think, was negative sometimes.
Yeah, the like Piggy karate chopping and all of that.
Right, there's no hitting.
Yeah, that's mean.
Right,
you should cherish your partner.
Exactly.
And I'm not even going on this whole like he should stick with his own kind. It's like, no, find another pig who loves you.
Exactly.
Who treats
if
you
you
right.
like pigs, please let the frog pig love happen.
Right.
Because you're Muppets.
Right.
And it can be whatever. And I don't know, maybe much like in Deadpool 1, when...
I never saw Deadpool.
Well, let me tell you about Deadpool, is that it's really dumb and really, really funny. Okay. And they're both, and kind of have a good heart. The Deadpool 1 was entirely about narcissism. Because the Deadpool character, Wade Wilson, is supposedly super handsome. I think that Ryan Gosling is no,
it's Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, whatever. Again,
same Ryan. This is the same thing. All the actors in Hollywood, it's the same guy. They just like change the eyebrows. It's
just a lot of super dude. They all do a lot of sit-ups. Congratulations.
They do a lot of sit-ups.
They're all very handsome. It's all working out for them. All the Chris's, all
I
the
hope
Ryans.
you enjoyed all that boiled chicken breast because that's all they eat.
It is. I had a friend of mine tell me the other day, she's working 3 weeks on this sitcom. And she said, it's really, really fun, but I don't think I could ever do a movie. And I said, why not? She said, because I'm hungry for 3 weeks. I don't think I could be hungry for 3 months.
Oh God.
And I was like, what? And she said, yeah, I ate something and I didn't fit into the outfit, and they were upset a little bit. And
they were upset.
And I was like, were they upset or were you just hungry?
Right.
And she goes, oh, I think they were a little upset and I was a lot hungry.
Oh my God.
I think they must have said one thing and she's starving herself to death.
What was she wearing? Like some kind of...
Just an outfit, but it was like a 2, and she was in between a 2 and a 4 now. And so she was like, and for continuity, she had to be in the 2.
Really?
Yeah. And so...
What did she eat? Like a cashew?
Well, she must have had a sandwich or something, and it was too much, because she's supposed to just eat boiled chicken breasts. And anyway, so Ryan, whoever, very handsome.
One of the Ryans.
One of the Ryans is in Deadpool. And he is good looking. But the whole premise of the Wade Wilson Deadpool movie is that he is proud of what he looks like. Mm-hmm. And when he gets all scarred up and burned and stuff, he's like, nobody can see him. Nobody can see him. And it's all about vanity. And so it's an interesting superhero theory because he's not much of a superhero.
I feel like you're just describing Spawn.
Oh, really?
Like the 90s.
That is a 90s
the
movie?
90s film. It was based on the comic book.
Yeah.
But Michael Jai White played Spawn and he was all burnt up.
Yeah. And so Deadpool's girlfriend, when she sees him at the end of the program, at the end of the movie, he's like, he takes his mask off and she looks at him and she goes, well, after a period of adjustment and several cocktails, that is definitely a face that I'd be willing to sit on. So
Wow.
it's, right. That's the joke.
All right.
And it's again, the dick joke community.
Right.
We're allies. We're supportive.
We're supporting the dick joke
I want
community.
to be a dick joke ally. So I think I am already. But
It was in your heart all along.
it was in all of our hearts. But that was the point of that story, was that I wish I had gotten, with some adjustment and possibly a candy bar, I would have gotten used to green pigs and pink frogs, because they're Muppets and it shouldn't matter, right?
But also, if you hadn't seen the previous film,
Right. Maybe that was my problem.
then
was the
you
continuity
wouldn't
problem.
have like that point of reference. Like that's something that I think like I don't know, like with the Muppets I can kind of suspend, like I could suspend
Disbelief.
my disbelief.
Yeah.
But one thing I couldn't suspend, my point break was they did I keep doing the Muppet hands. They did a like a parody of The Walking Dead with the Swedish chef, and called The Walking Bread.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's like hurger schmurger, and he's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
chopping up toast and chopping up baguettes and and has like a flamethrower. But the Swedish chef used to have the Muppet hands, the
Yeah.
felty gloves.
Yeah.
But in this one, it kind of styled him like Negan
In
from
The Walking Dead?
Oh. And so it's just bare hands. It's just bare, regular
Weird.
old human hands.
Creepy.
But still with the whole Muppet
Yeah.
get up. And it kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Not a little bit.
Yeah, it
a
took
lot.
me out of it because I was like, oh, I'm just seeing like big veiny man hands.
Right.
And it was a little disturbing.
Yeah, I love their parodies though. Like the Walking Bread. I may have to see it, even though that does sound super creepy.
Because also it's a hingerschmurger, and he's got like machetes and
Yep.
flamethrower and
Yeah, and the bread is alive. That's always been weird. That's
Yeah.
where I thought you said that the line was going to be drawn, because the bread's alive.
Yes.
but the Walking Bread, and then
But I guess now that I think about it, if you need the machete or you need like if you're using some sort of
real knife.
I think they also use like a real flamethrower.
Oh, weird.
So I guess you can't have like felt.
Or you can't have it.
I don't know. I'm just trying to justify it. It's just-
Right, because they try so hard, and
Yeah.
they always they say that puppeteers and magicians are kind of alike, because they have to work alone, practice alone so much in the mirror, like, because that's how you learn how to be a puppeteer.
Yeah.
is you just watch your hands you watch the puppet in a mirror while you work it, which can actually stunt your social skills.
I would imagine. Would you at some point start using the voice?
Well, you're like 3-4 hours. I think it was Penn or Teller, the one that talks. Ryan,
Penn?
Jason, Retta, it doesn't
The
matter.
big one.
The big one talks, and but he was talking about how magicians have some of the worst social skills because they just spend all their time alone, looking in the mirror, watching their hands.
Oh, that's sad.
But those two guys have pretty good social skills. And
Have you met both like in person? Or
No. We did go one time to Vegas to see them live because Andy's a huge fan, and I became a huge fan. They were giving out metal copies of the Bill of Rights because they're both libertarians, but old school libertarians, right? And you could buy it for $5, a metal version of the Bill of Rights that you were supposed to carry through TSA. And then when they said, "Do you have any metal on you?" you're supposed to hand them your rights.
Oh, I like that.
And I was like, well, that seems like a way to get separated out and have to go to a separate room and get checked.
That happens to me every time I fly. So you know
Excellent.
what?
Why not?
Why not?
Let's bring it.
Yeah. They literally pull me aside every single time I fly.
Interesting.
Each time.
Are you a TSA pre-check?
I am not, because I'm poor.
Right.
My full name is Hawania, as Hawania Akila.
Yeah.
So that's pretty ethnic. And,
right, there's a flag.
yeah, each and every time.
Each and every time.
They're like,
you
oh, we
were
have to
randomly chosen each and every time.
each and every time. I don't check bags anymore, just an aside.
Yeah.
I don't check bags anymore because I would put like a little lock on my luggage, and they would cut the lock, put it inside my luggage with a note that said like, "Oh, you're."
We TSA checked your stuff.
Yeah, and like my underwear is unfolded, like everything's. No, I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. Oh, that's probably actually no. You know what I did? I took my name tag and I wrote like Lauren Williams or something like on it, and untouched.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yep.
What do you think causes that? No. Gee, I wonder why. No, because I often have that TSA note in my card, and I never lock it because I'm like, they're just going to break it. So even though, like, I have a luggage thing that's like, no, TSA has the lock. They know how to undo this. And I was like, I don't know if you've met the TSA monsters, but they're morons.
Yeah.
It seems sweeping. I've said it out loud. I'm going to stick by it.
With it.
I'm going to stick by it because Andy calls it TSA theater. Ooh. And because whatever, he always opts out. And I am TSA pre-check and clear because I fly so much.
Yeah.
And but when Andy is not TSA pre-check or clear, so he has to go through the thing where you raise your hands and do the thing, right? So Andy always opts. He's like, I would like the pat down. And they're like, well, you know that the thing doesn't hurt you, the radio waves. And he's like, no, I like the full experience. The full theatrical experience. If we're going to pretend we're having some sort of safety check, please pat me down. And he calls it TSA theater.
They don't let me opt out. I tried to opt out one time, and they said that they didn't have enough staff, and that I had to go through, and then they patted me down once I stepped out of the scanner.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I always opt out just because, and they're like, it'll be a while. And I was like, yeah, I always show up super early for the flight anyway. And I was like, no, I got time. And I just stand there. I have had to stand there for 15 minutes. And it's annoying because I don't like to stand. Anyway, because I'm an American and I would like to sit. And we have weeded off enormously.
Right.
People, it's Nia Debose. It's at LOL Nia Debose on Twitter. It's Nia_Debose on Instagram. It's NiaDebose.com. Debose is spelled DEBOSE. And on NiaDebose.com, there are 2 episodes of your podcast which exist already. One of them with your dad.
Yeah.
And that's neat. So people should listen to that. They should find your stand-up comedy, which is a delight. And thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And go see the Muppets.
Yes. Support the Muppets and the dick joke community. Be an ally.
Right. And Rangers, you know the rules out there. Take care of each other.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?